What's up, guys? M to the Magpie here, coming at you with a 1v1 broadcast featuring playing as the Allies. Just kidding. Who's going to be a US player here? And playing as the Axis, my good self, Magpie 842. So this is a 1v1 I played on the auto-matching ladder just now. I thought it's about time I tested my mettle in the fierce crucible of one-to-one combat. Overcommand is my sort of go-to team at the moment, so yeah, thought I'd head on out as them, so let's see now. Just Kidding has chosen his commander very pronto. He's gone for Rifle Company, and who can blame him? This is a fantastic commander. Gives you the Sherman Easy 8, which is just kind of a powerhouse. It's almost a Panther for the Allies. It gets the Elite Rifleman training, which is awesome. It's just really good. You get Riflemen for a few more manpower, but they arrive with veterancy. Rifleman Flares is a useful ability. They can have flamethrowers, and the White Phosphorus Artillery Smoke Barrage, which is absolutely very unpleasant for your opponents, basically. And it also counts as smoke, which is absolutely awesome sometimes when you need it. So, the two forces fanning out on this small map, Stalingrad, which is, I did a cast on this map earlier today, actually. It's quite a built-up map, very urban, lots of line-of-sight blockers, lots of garrisonable buildings, cover pretty much everywhere. It's good for some up-close and brutal combat. So, in the early stages of the game, I think I was focusing mainly on controlling these top two command points after I saw, Gentle Fox doing a similar strategy on this map. And so with the plan, I think of establishing my medical truck in approximately this location. And my opponent going for a really quite an unusual strategy in this game, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to cast it. Because, his strategy will become clear as the game goes on. But yeah, keep an eye on his forces here. So if we look at the troop bars, I've gone for 2 squads of Volks off the bat. He's gone for another 2 squads of Echelons and a Veteran Rifleman squad. So I think that's quite unusual for a US player to go up to 3 rear echelon squads. Not what you typically see. And he's prioritising, whereas I've prioritised the victory points, he's prioritised the fuel points. So do note. Medical truck going up in the position that I indicated earlier. And a couple of skirmishes breaking out in mid. Rear echelons, not so great in a fight, especially up against 2 squads when one of those squads is Storm Pioneers, but being as annoying as they can, skirting around the place, and I'm just sort of trying to pick the best fighters I can with them, and undoing their capture work just here. The US player already going out of his way to build a fuel cache at this early stage in the game, so take note of that too. And so I believe it was my intention, although I haven't picked him yet. I believe I was leaning with going for the Luftwaffe Ground Forces. What's his name? Sorry, it's a Luftwaffe Ground Forces doctrine, yes. Because I saw Gentle Fox using to great effect on this map, and the number of buildings makes MG teams pretty useful. Fallschirmjägers are going to be good on a map with this kind of terrain as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Kind of getting into a bit of a skirmish here. Riflemen garrisoning this building. I think what I did here was tell my Volks to get into this building, and they've just kind of gone a really annoying way. Anyway, some Storm Pioneers coming in here on backup. I'm still making do with just the 2 squads of Volks and the squad of Storm Pioneers. Bit of a risky opening. So as soon as that medical building finishes, which is just now, I believe that the next thing I get, I don't think I even get a Kugelwagen or a 3rd squad of Volks. I think I just research the forward fallback point. And try and make do with the forces I've got. Using the heavy cover here in the building over the street, just trying to out-DPS my opponents. And I'm actually managing to blaze these riflemen down in moderately good order. There's a MG34 entering the field for me. Have I researched the forward fallback point yet? Yes, I have. So it went Volks, medical building, forward fallback point, MG34. And the American player digging in here with a fighting position, which he's upgrading with the 50 cal, to cover this field point, and I'm just dancing my Pioneers on the edge, or trying to dance them on the edge, just to decap this point, so he'll have to send a squad or something and cap them again. And the same on the right flank, he's also gone for a sort of symmetrically positioned fighting position. So a fairly devious strat here. Now, one thing I've been experimenting quite a lot with in the 1v1 matchups recently, 1v1, 2v2, you might have noticed a couple of my other casts, I get the double Lig, so it's this, where is it? There we go. The double Lig 18 infantry support gun, and I find that a double barrage from those will take care of a fighting position in short order. Now, let me see, how much is a fighting position to create? Can I Can I access this? So fighting position cost 125 manpower. Now, when you're answering that with a free artillery strike, it's not so bad. I mean, obviously the Ligue itself isn't free, and 2 of them cost 660 manpower. But, you know, they're chipping in other fights. Anyway, MG34, getting in position in this building, wants to just face this way, actually, just to the left here, because then it can clip onto these riflemen. This is a good building to be in. It commands one of the victory points, it commands this fighting area here, and the other victory point's here. Now, it doesn't reach them, but it does shut down one of the approaches to it, to this victory point. And you'll see here the suppression coming into effect. There's another squad of Volks coming in, and you can see the first Ligue just about to enter the field. The American player now up to 2 rifleman squads, one of whom pinned, of course, by the MG34 there.
Attack!
Making use of cover, just trying to pick these fights, preserve my forces as best I can. And the American player just taking a second here to fall back and get his forces in order.
Capture complete. No enemy activity.
The victory points, I managed to get a good nearly 100. I got 94 points off his score just in the early stages, because where he was focusing on these fuel points and building fighting positions to support them, I was focusing on these 2 victory points here, and I actually have also managed to grab this one, which he's now going to decap. And oh, that's the sound of a Ligue firing, and here he is. Yeah,
lines have been cut.
For justice.
Americans are making a push.
He's just not going to fire now. Oh, there it is. Do love me some Ligue, especially now that they've added suppression and cut the cost to 330. It actually feels like a unit I can use and include in my builds, whereas previously costing 430 and being awful, it was just an awful, awful unit. I was terribly jealous of Russian and Wehrmacht players who actually had a decent mortar. And yeah, let's see. Oh, another Ligue being the next unit in line for me. So, yep, going for the double Ligue. I think 2 Ligues is just somehow like the right amount. I believe I'm using a barrage here on this fighting position. 2 Ligues seems to be just the right amount, like it properly answers a blob. I mean, it will inflict grievous losses and like large amounts of suppression on a blob, so 2 Ligues, and like I say, it'll take out a fighting position with a double barrage, like pretty much 100% of the time, which is really cool.
Fortification now available. Pioneers standing by.
Both players on about 2 command points. As I approach 3, or once I'm at 3, I'll be able to call in Fallschirmjäger, pretty useful ability. And he'll be able to purchase flamethrower packs for his rifleman squads. I need to send somebody, and I am, just to capture this middle victory point, because I am actually losing tickets right now. Now, I've noticed that he's focusing on the fuel points and building so many fuel caches, so I decided that I would come in here and try and snipe one of them. But he's going to defend it with 2 squads of riflemen, so that's something I need to defend. Trying to get the Volks in front of the more expensive, more effective Pioneers here. And what I was trying to do is just do a little bit of split fire micro, so when this thing's firing, fire it at the fuel point, and then when they're not firing, fire them at the rifleman. So he's reloading, and then as soon as you see that Panzerschreck straighten up, there we go, now I'll click back on the fuel depot. Boom, okay. So kind of getting the best of the Panzerschreck and the rifles there on the Volk squad, able to neutralise a 200 manpower investment in the fuel cache. The fighting position still alive, actually. The Ligues. Oh, the barrage is ready. I just clearly don't have the attention, don't quite have the multitasking to be issuing them targets right now. Managed to claim back the middle victory point, though. That stopped me from losing points, and the American player is now down to 400. So there's a fighting position here in the pocket, and another rear echelon squad just lurking. Seems like they're going to try and sneak around the flank. Both of my Volksgrenadier squads now equipped with Panzerschrecks, just in case an AA half-track or some such came out, although actually I won't be seeing an AA half-track on account of the fact that the American player has gone for the Captain upgrade. So what does he get for the Captain? He can build the M157mm AT gun, he can build the pack howitzer, and he can build the Stuart. And, pardon me, his fuel income at the moment more than double mine, in fact treble mine. He's got 30, I've got 10. So that's kind of dangerous. I go for this building next, the Mechanized Regiment headquarters. So this is because Obersoldaten are all good and well, but if you've got the ability to call in Fallschirmjägers, which I do now, you don't need them in the same way that you do if you don't have the Fallschirmjägers. And I actually find that the Puma is really, really good anti-tank. The Werfermann multiple rocket launcher half-track is just... Oh, I think I thought I destroyed this fighting point, went in to capture it. Turns out the fighting point's still there. And both of my Ligs are now on the other flank destroying these fighting points. So one fighting point here destroyed, he's building a replacement one here. But yeah, so and the Werferman and also the flak half-track, actually a really underrated unit. It's fairly cheap, it's utterly destructive, it deals fantastic suppression. I've been having good results with the AA half-track recently, it's fair to say. Anyway, squad of Fallschirmjägers being spawned from this building. That was just a lucky catch that they found these rear echelon troops as they were moving past. I just thought this is a good building to spawn them from. That's more or less the right part of the map where I want to be, because then I can grab this victory point. So, yep. So the light guns here now taking aim, it appears, at this new fighting position here. Oof, and a rifle grenade just vetting up that rear echelon squad. Crucially, so both players kind of getting what they went for. Not getting everything they want, but getting what they need. The American player getting masses of fuel and myself getting the victory points. So I've got him down, I've almost got sort of 120 point lead, 130 point lead at the moment. The Ligs are spreading out and just moving up to the north. Going to put down some barrages, I'm sure, on this fighting position soon. It's frustrating that I didn't destroy this one before I moved on with the Ligs. Anyway, they're aiming now at the other fighting position. And there's the barrage coming in. Let's just check how much damage this does. Yeah, it's like decent when you get a hit. Anyway, a fight happening here, and the American here revealing the fact that he does have a major, so I'm on my toes now for Shermans and such, and I also scout this other fuel cache, so I know that Shermans are like going to be a real thing that's happening soon. And indeed, the first one's just finished, so we're at the 11.5 minute mark. So by prioritising the fuel points, he's managed to get what is an early Sherman. I mean, that's like the top tier tech for the American force. It's not like, say, a Panzer IV or something, which you can get out of the tier 2 or your second tech building. Oh, actually no, it kind of is, because you just build the captain and then you skip to it. Yeah, alright. Sorry, I'm lying. So yeah, in comes a Sherman, and that was not a shot, because I knew he'd be spending his fuel on something, and it was almost certainly a Sherman, but a nasty thing to be facing this early in the game. So I start building my Puma at this stage. Didn't build it until I'd at least seen the tech, so there we go. Which had just enough fuel for that Puma. Managing to clear out these fighting positions and get a squad wipe in the top right, or rather just in the right hand corner of the map. The Sherman opening festivities with 3 kills and rolling on out, pretty much unopposed on the battlefield. Yeah, I've got a couple of Volks with Panzerschrecks, but any savvy player is going to keep the Sherman safe from those. So he comes on over here to start putting some pressure on this MG. First shot, whoosh, goes flailing wide of the building. Second shot smashing into the window there, blowing chunks out of that building. Volks further down the street, being attacked quite heavily. Now the MG34, I'd love to move it, because it's just taking fire from these huge HE shells from the Sherman, but it's the only thing keeping my Volks alive and this victory point under control. So I move the Ligs back across into the middle of the map, so they're now able to help stop this assault. And the Storm Pioneers here just kind of waiting, and the Puma moving into position here. Now this was a really annoying fight, because I didn't want to woggle the Puma through here, it'll just get shot by the Sherman. There's my Volks fall back, but too many flamethrowers, and there's a Shrek down, and I immediately, knowing with this early Sherman, whoever picks up that Shrek, this is like a game-changing moment, because if I have half the Shreks and he has that Shrek, I mean the fact that he has the Shrek is not so important, it's the fact that this Shrek at the moment is like 1/3 of my anti-tank more or less, so if I was to lose that, that would have been horrendous. So I grab it on the Storm Pioneers. Oh, dearie me, these guys are pretty wounded as the MG34 retreats out to the right-hand side of the building. The Puma pushing forward, just looking for the Sherman. Finds it, gets a stinger into the front, but the Sherman answers it. And even though it's set to HE shells, more than enough to deal with the Puma's armour. So Puma has to get out of there as a squad of Volks comes in to replace those who've just fallen. This MG34 needs to fall back and go and get reinforced. Whereas on the right, I did have a squad of Volks that entire time just pushing up and capping points, so that is good. These Fallschirmjägers also, I need to put them in the capture zone. Yep, there we go. And the MG34 has now fallen back and should start recruiting soon. So the Sherman now transitioning to the right-hand flank. And look, see, this guy's good. He knows that I can't fire the Shrek if he's constantly like running over my dudes and like shoving him around. Like, see, the guy can't fire if he's being shoved by a Sherman, so I have to pull back. And you really can't take chances with these high explosive rounds. It's just, if your squad's down to 3 or even 4 men, you can just, boom, they're all just gone all of a sudden, just from one shot. The Sherman, when it's set to that anti-infantry mode, pretty potent. So I come across with the Puma for a little poke, trying to just find this Sherman, a large infantry blob, including a captain who has Zooks. Goes past, so that's pretty good. Finds the Sherman, so aims a shot into it, but just kidding is on his toes, gets the crew back into it, and forces the Puma back. Because I think if I lose this Puma, I may just lose the game, because I mean, look, here's another Sherman. You know, like it's now 3 Shreks and a Puma against like 2 Shermans, which is just about okay. But if I lose any of those ingredients, then the force just starts getting overwhelming, and I stand to get overrun. So yeah, basically I have to be cautious. I have to be cautious. Caution, ever my watchword in this game, especially when playing as over command, because your reduced income just means that your losses just count that much more. You know, like if I lose this Puma, I mean, it's just horrible news. So anyway, pushing out with this half track, going to try and establish the Schwerer Flak HQ somewhere around here, and that will help secure these 2 victory points, because at the moment I also know that it is in my interests to end this game as soon as possible. He's gone for maximum fuel income, and I've gone for go for the neck or go for the throat and try and just end the game on victory points as soon as possible. I'm also just finally taking care of that fighting position and able to secure the top left fuel point, which at this point he's already got his Shermans. It's more about me getting fuel than denying him any fuel. Anyway, so the Puma going for a push here, again just dodging that captain squad, a little bit fluky, gets a chipping hit onto the Sherman. The Sherman gets a smash through the front of its armour, and that is a Puma that wants to get out. The captain squad just in the wrong place at the wrong time to get his shots with the Zooks. And here comes the Storm Pioneers with that Shrek they picked up earlier, and that is now a Sherman that doesn't want to be there. And I try and stay here for just a moment, just want to get like one more hit, and maybe I should have come back with the Puma, but the Puma's on a pixel health actually, that would have been a bad call. So the Sherman able to retreat, the Puma gets out. Am I going to get out with the Storm Pioneers? Oh dearie me, they're getting incinerated. Oh god, get out of there, boy. He runs, his heels are literally on fire. Yeah, he does get out of there, but closer than you'd ever like. So, the Schwerer HQ now deployed, and helping to cement my position in the middle of the area, and giving me not quite a Sherman-free zone, but a kind of Sherman, I don't know, repulsion area. The other Sherman during that entire fight was in my base trying to destroy this building, did some good damage, but got forced back by the base defenses. And the Americans basically focusing on the right flank, where all my harder troops and defences are not. Did I move the MG34? Yes, the MG34 is back in its house here, unable to help with this infantry push on the right flank. And I think, at this point, I was thinking, do I call in another? No, I don't think I will. I think I might save for another squad of Fallschirmjäger instead. They're a little bit more high impact. As the game goes on, the value of machine gun squads tends to decrease as their answers come out. You know, you get a lot more indirect fire, a lot more armour, a lot more smoke. So I didn't really want to invest in what is, in my eyes, an early game unit when I could get another Fallschirmjäger squad. I'm fighting here at point blank range. It appears that my flak half track is mostly just shooting my Fallschirmjägers there. Thanks, buddy. The Puma now repaired thanks to the efforts of the Storm Pioneers. We survived that fight, coming back out to have a look for a Sherman. Let's see, we've got one here. The other Sherman is...
Volksgrenadiers back to full strength.
Where is he? Oh, sorry, here are the 2 Shermans. There we go. So yeah. Oh, and the Puma kind of in a hazardous location now. It's in danger of getting sandwiched between the Pumas, so I back it out, bring in some screen of infantry with anti-tank weapons, and I've also got a Rakettenwerfer here, which I'm going to try and sort of command this street with. The Sherman here, popping smoke, and that gives me all the excuse I need to run away, because I don't want to try and follow some Pumas which are just going to kite me. This flamethrower squad, I'm not sure. Now this I think is just a mistake from just kidding. That was a unit that wanted to either stop and flame this building or do something useful, not just run around here and die. So that's probably a misrally. As he tries to secure the top left, or rather the left fuel position. The Puma idle at the right. Just making sure those Shermans don't come back in and try and snipe this building. And the infantry with Shreks coming out to support. And at this point, I'm pretty sure that I was sure that his Shermans were on the right flank, and he cleverly brings them across to the left. As you see on the build queue, a third Sherman coming. So we're looking at the third Sherman on the queue at about the 19.5-minute mark. It's clear that this guy, quite a fan of Shermans, and who can blame him? Is he getting the MG upgrade for this one? That's probably a mistake. He should do that. Yeah, he's just forgotten to. Hopefully he'll notice that. Maybe he didn't have the munitions when he thought to earlier. Anyway, we're Kettenwerfer in position here, just locking down this area. I'll probably push that forwards a little bit. The Shrek infantry just fanning out, trying to make a land grab in the bottom right, which they'll be able to do. Fallschirmjäger's coming across to bolster the MG-34, which holds off an advance here from the American forces. And American tank crews, just hopping in just in the nick of time. I was thinking, if I could just get a cheeky Faust here, damage the engine, and then I can stalk the Sherman with a... and there's the cheeky Faust, there's the damage engine. Now I can maybe stalk that Sherman with the Puma, which is en route coming in from the north of the street. Now the choice is, do I take the main street or do I come through these ruins with the Puma? Seems like the choice is made for me as the first Sherman takes to the street. The Puma backing out doesn't want to get ganked by a Sherman push, which can happen in just 2 seconds, man. I mean, Shermans going forwards are about almost the exact same speed as a Puma going backwards. Even a 2-star Puma going backwards. Does a 2-star boost its mobility? It's 3-star for that. Okay, anyway, so the Puma taking up a good position here. I'm happy to trade shots with one Sherman, and I take one shot, and then I decide it's time to get out, just cracking rounds in. It is a little tank sniper, is the Sherman, and unfortunately a squad of mine meeting their demise in that building. What was that? Was that one of my Volk squads? Yes, it was. That was very sad. It was a fairly vetted up Volk squad with a Shrek going down into the rubble there. But I mean, if we look at the Panzer forces, the Sherman forces, they're going to need a little bit of time to repair and refit here. And I remember trying to guess where they were and throw down some barrages. I've even got a veteran C mark here, but I decided not to use the anti-vehicle barrage, seeing as how I didn't know for sure where they were repairing. If I did, yes, I would have. And I'm making use of the fact that he's relocated his forces to the left by pushing on the right to grab that victory point. And here we see he's down to 67 victory points at the 20-minute mark. So I just don't really want to take a fight when there's Shermans involved. This is not a game I want to be in any longer than I have to. So I'm up to 110 fuel now, and believe it or not, this entire game I've had this building set to fuel conversion mode. Look, see, here we go, there it is. I'm sacrificing munitions for fuel here, which is why I'm bang out of munitions. And it's testament to the scrappiness of Overcommand's resource income rate that I still don't have enough for a Panzer IV. Yeah, sure, I've built a Puma and I've also built 3 tech buildings, but like we're 22 minutes into the game and those are my only fuel investments. So yeah, you really have to choose what you want and then stick with it. Fallschirmjäger being spawned and then hopping back into this building, and I believe my attention went over to the left flank. Those Fallschirmjäger, keep an eye on their health up here, just up in the top right corner as this fight on the left unfolds. 2 Shermans moving in, the Light's firing in. Where's the Puma in all this? The Puma coming in from the north, needs to get in, and he is. The sniping begins. Need to get this MG squad out of the building, and it's too late as the MG squad are vaporized in the building as the flak half-track begins. And the Shermans decide to take a dive to take the Puma, who manages to abandon one before slinking off around the corner. The HE rounds now beginning to bounce from the improved armor on the on the Puma. And the Puma needs to be scoring penetrating hits here, not missing like this. Continuing to kite, as a squad of Storm Pioneers may be able to provide the additional anti-tank that I need. Now the Puma hitting into the side armor of the Sherman. So one Sherman defeated, burning in the street. The other one now getting heavily weakened, and the Puma gets a fatal hit into its flank. And now we need to push with the Puma, and here it comes. You see, Puma is, I mean, it has no kills, but it has like nearly 4-star vet. It is such a potent AT platform, and it's now going to cut through mid in an attempt to pound down this Puma. Sorry, this Sherman. With the help of this Shrek squad, it may be able to. Now I was feeling cocky, like, because now he was purely on. I'm feeling so cocky, I'm telling him. I'm saying, my Puma's better than your Sherman, buddy. And I'm kind of right. Like, look at this Sherman. Like, it had 2 buddies 2 seconds ago, then it decided to chase a Puma, and look what happened. You know, oof! And the Puma has the line of sight, the speed, the agility, and the accuracy to hunt down the remaining Sherman, finally securing itself a kill. I mean, I think we can attribute the other 2 Sherman kills to that Puma, but that's his first technical kill. And with that exchange, 3 Shermans going down, map control, he realizes that the only way to stay in this game is to make a dive onto the victory points and start for an infantry push, which he does. And at this point I was thinking, yes, I've got the game in the bag. And then I realised I'd lost a squad or two on the right flank, and he's controlling more of the victory points. This isn't over as soon as I thought it was going to be. Like, this isn't GG right now, which is really what I was hoping for. So anyway, yeah, the Lig's still just kind of flailing rounds out in the middle. This Lig here has like 15 kills, which is pretty good. The other one, no kills. So clearly up too late in the officer's mess last night with those with that crew.
Americans are making a push.
And fanning out across the map. Now, this is a lot of infantry, and the Ligs are just buying me time, whittling them down. See, imagine there weren't some Ligs. These would be full squad still, with the ability to keep pushing, something that I was going to have to answer. But because they stopped to capture points, and because they spent too long under the arcs of these Ligs, that's just a threat I don't have to worry about. Now, yeah, I spent 660 manpower on those Ligs, so they should do something, and it's up to you. I mean, decide for yourself. Were they a good investment? Were they not? I don't know. I'm liking them, so I'm going to keep up this double Lig strategy where I can. As the 4th Sherman comes into the field, desperately trying to stop me from capping this point. Oh, an HE shell into that squad. Oh, it missed. It went too far back. The Puma comes in. He wants a piece of this Sherman. Bang! Look at the damage. Look at the power. Puma, it's just so good against medium armor. And I believe I'm going to get super cocky with a Panzer IV waiting in the wings there, just at the top of the screen. The Puma's going to come in. It goes up to 5 stars and snags another Sherman. I think that was its kill. And finally meeting its end. But there are no regrets there. I knew if I just break that Sherman, that's like the last unit he'll have. That's like him without armor for at least a few minutes. And I've got this nice tasty Panzer IV now that will take up where the Sherman where the Puma left off.
Heavy machine gun group are ready for action.
I need a squad of infantry in here, like ASAP. And Just Kidding says, impossible to beat good player, which I take as quite a compliment, so thank you very much. Seeing as how this is my first 1v1 for like 6 months or so. So I told him he had a good strat. I mean, it was an interesting one. I think I should have said interesting. Because, yeah, I've never seen anyone just prioritize fuel points, go for, like, building tons of fuel caches, and just go for, like, you know, a ton of Shermans like that. That is, like, one of the most, how can I put it, it's, like, one-dimensional strategies ever. He just prioritized get Shermans in his face really early. That was, like, his ticket, and I've never played against a style like that before. I don't know, maybe that's the meta at the moment. I have no idea. This is my first 1v1 for, like, quite a long time that I literally myself have played. But yeah, I was really happy with my performance with the Puma. That's like one of my favourite units to micro. Yeah, I kind of think of it like it's like if the Wehrmacht sniper was a vehicle, he'd be a Puma, and I use the Wehrmacht sniper a lot. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the cast. If you have any feedback about the casting, the channel, anything, do please post a comment below. And since it was me playing this time, if you have any feedback about my playstyle, any tips or strats or anything you think I might have missed, I'd be interested to hear about it. So. Yeah, that wraps up another cast. Thank you very much for watching. Magpie842 signing out.